1 minute.
Okay.
You can start.
So good evening, everyone. So today I'm reviewing my own book, um, written by my creative version, which I call Swami Prem Maitreya. My pen name also. This name was given to me by my guru during my sannyas ceremony. So this book. Generally, I refer this Prem Maitreya as a third person. So don't confuse if I say Swami Prem Maitreya write this. It means me only. So generally, it is one of my personality, and whatever creative work I am doing in my life, it belongs to this Swami Prem Maitreya. So this book was written by him only. Next slide, ma'am. So this about the book I took from my book only. This book is all about in which I explain through a story, a beautiful story which has got a mystery also, that whatever we are doing in our life, whatever we achieve in our life, whatever accomplishes we have in our life, always there is somebody who is responsible for it. But because of the ego, we always think that no, nobody is involved. For all my achievement, I am the only one who is involved. For all my mistake, definitely somebody else is involved. But at least as far as my achievements are considered, only I am involved. So that kind of confusion I'll explain in my book, and through that story, maybe I would be able to explain that no, we are not I alone is not responsible. Many people are responsible for that accomplishment. Next, ma'am. So this book is all about two characters basically, Huang and Robert Jr. Huang Shang basically is the name of a Buddhist monk. I took it from there. Huang Shang, you must be knowing, is 16th century. He was a Buddhist monk, and he traveled extensively in India during the, I think, Raja Harshvardhan period. And basically for Buddhist teachings, he came to India and he learned a lot from that. So Huang Shang, the name I took from him. Here I split it into two. There are two characters, Huang and Sang. They are the brother, they are Sherpa brother. They live with their widow mother. They live in the outskirts of Kathmandu, Nepal capital Kathmandu. So they live in the outskirts of Kathmandu. There is a village called Ramkot. So they both live with their family, widow mother, in the outskirts of Kathmandu in a village called Ramkot. As I told, widow mother, so they lost their father quite early in their life. Because of that, this elder brother, Huang, Sherpa Huang, he took the responsibility of the family, and he was the only breadwinner of the family. He sometimes what happened, because of without any formal, you know, training, only because of necessity, only because of the requirement, some people become multi-skilled. And there are still many chances when we are taking so much of training, but still we are not getting any skills. But here in the case of Huang, because of his poverty, because of his father died, he was the only breadwinner. So he got various skills. He was a very good plumber. He was a very good carpenter. He was a very good mason worker. So he performed all these tasks just to sustain his family. So during one of his tasks, so the first chapter belongs to these two people, these two brothers. So during one of his carpentry job, he was injured, and because of that, he became bedridden. And because of that, he became bedridden. Um he became bedridden, and he was not able to go out. Since he was the only breadwinner, so the economic condition of the family deteriorated. One fine day, he came to know that his brother, Sang, to whom he addressed Sangu, went to school without having the breakfast. So he was infuriated. He was very angry. Without telling his mother, this swing went outside for in search of some job. He was searching for the job here and there. Then, surprisingly, he find a sweet shop. He requested them for, my family is very hungry. I need some job. give me any kind of job and some kind of food. So the shopkeeper was kind enough, or I would say cunning enough, because he sensed that this person required urgently he required work. So he took the advantage of the situation. He told him, okay, I will provide you a job in which you have to clean this big chunk of utensils. And in return, I will give you only two laddu. He said, okay, I have no issue. Just give me two laddu. I'll clean all the utensils. He cleaned all the utensils, wiped his sweat, got these two laddu, and went straightway to the school where his brother was studying. So he took him out. They sat under the banyan tree, just like in the photo they were in, offered him both the laddu. The Sangu, who was the younger one, he gave one back to Huing. Well, brother, one for you, one for me. That Huing told Sangu, well, brother, no. You know it very well that this one laddu is not enough for me. And if you eat these two, at least your stomach would be filled up to a satisfactory level. And if it is filled, automatically my stomach will also be filled. Without any further question, Sangu eat both the laddus, and both of them hug each other, wipe their tears. They were hiding their tears. So first episode is about their how their economic condition, and it is between the how familiar these two brothers are. So first chapter belongs to these two brothers. Ma'am, second one. Please change. Yeah. So second, so I made this book in chapter wise, like a Netflix film. So one episode belongs to Sherpa Huing, Sherpa Sang, and his family. Second chapter is Robert. Robert is he's a purely fictional character. Robert, he scaled mountain K2 very first time, and soon after scaling mountain K2, he wrote a book, K2's Anecdote, as it is very well seen in the slide. So Robert Jr. is the son of Robert. So he wanted to follow the footstep of his father. He also did the same thing. He also scaled a K spelled mountain, which is Kanchenjunga, very first time, just like his father did for K2, he did for Kanchenjunga. And soon after completing that summit, he wrote a book, just like his father, K's Anecdote. He selected Kathmandu as a place for the book release event, for his book release event, this K's Anecdote. Because Kathmandu was the only place from where his journey for Kanchenjunga was started. So he selected that place. Nepal government was also very happy that Robert Jr. selected Kathmandu. The government decided to confer Robert Jr. with Nepal Ratna. Just like Bharat Ratna we have, the Nepal Ratna they wanted to confer to Robert Jr. First, for two main reasons. First, by climbing Kanchenjunga from Nepal side, and second, by selecting Kathmandu for the release of his much awaited book, K's Anecdote. These two events put Nepal in the world map. So because of that, they wanted to confer Robert Jr. That Nepal Ratna. The whole royal guest house was booked for Robert Jr. and his release event. A big presidential shoot was booked for him. He was treated as a royal guest. The whole Kathmandu city was celebrating the arrival of Robert Jr. Big pamphlet, big posters were placed at various places so that maximum publicity was given for this event. So for this event, he came from he belongs to UK. From UK, he landed in Kathmandu for his much awaited this book release event, and straightway he went to Royal Guest House where he was staying, and at the same place, his book release event is going to be happening after one day. Then this episode also finished. Second is meeting, how Robert Jr. and Sherpa Huang met. When Sherpa Huang, who was, as I told you, living with his family in the Ramkot and doing all kind of odd job because of poor economic condition, so he was doing some work in one of the shop. He saw a poster in which Robert Jr. and all the explanation was given that a book is being released. He was illiterate, but he can see the photo, and he can immediately he recognized Robert Jr. Then he inquired about it, what this poster is all about from the nearby people. He came to know that he is staying in Royal Guest House, and he is coming here for the release of his book. Since he was knowing Robert Jr. very well, he decided to meet him in the Royal Guest House. Ma'am, can you shift the slide? Yeah. So this poster says a lot many things. So he went to the Royal Guest House in the presidential. He knocked the door. Robert Jr. opened the door. Robert Jr. or RJ, generally RJ is the short form of Robert Jr. RJ opened the door. He was very excited to see Sherpa. He called him in, offered him tea, and then they started talking. Sherpa thanked him for all the help which he had provided in terms of money and so many things. And because of that, he was able to build a small house. The study of his brother Sangu was also completed because of the money provided by RJ. After all this thing, RJ offered him his book. And he told Sherpa, I know you are illiterate, but I am giving you, this is my first book autographed by me only. You just take it. So then Sherpa said, actually, sir, Sahib. Generally, he addressed to RJ as Sahib. Sahib, I don't know. Means I don't know about books and all these things. Can you tell me what this book is all about and the name of the book? What is this? RJ said, oh, I forgot to tell you. This book is the name is Case Anecdote. Means the story of Kanchanjunga. The moment he uttered the word Kanchanjunga, the moment RJ uttered the word Kanchanjunga, something happened to this Sherpa, because Kanchanjunga is treated as a deity, as a devi in Nepal, and in Nepal, Kanchanjunga, everybody call Kanchanjunga as Amma Kanchan, Ma Kanchan, so they call Amma Kanchan. So immediately when the word Kanchanjunga was uttered by RJ, this Sherpa folded his hand, closed his eyes, and faced towards the Kanchanjunga. He kneeled down and started praying and chanting the mantra Amma Kanchan, Amma Kanchan, Amma Kanchan. That is generally Nepali people, they do this prayer whenever they see Kanchanjunga or something like that. So he was doing it with folded hand, kneel down and saying, chanting Amma Kanchan, Amma Kanchan, Amma Kanchan, Amma Kanchan. This Amma Kanchan, this mantra, it resonated the whole, full room was resonating with this reverberating chanting. Something happened to RJ, some hypnotism, some kind of, he went into a trance, something happened to RJ, and he went back to 4 years back, 5 years back, when he first time landed in Kathmandu. So from here, that chanting took him 5 years back. He was transported 5 years back when he first time landed in Kathmandu. Actually, the main reason of coming to Kathmandu at that time was a mountaineer expedition up to this Mount Everest base camp. Basically, he wanted to complete an expedition up to the this Everest base camp. So he was coming from UK to Kathmandu. So he was transported back that time. That was the first time when he landed in Kathmandu. He saw a big poster. Ma'am, can you change the slide? This was the poster which Robert Jr. saw when 5 years back he landed at Kathmandu airport. And that was the first time when he read Amma Kanchan from his mouth and hear the same voice, Amma Kanchan, from his ear. That time he fell in love with Kanchanjunga, and he decided, no, I will not do that mountain base camp expedition. I will do the summit to Kanchanjunga. He inquired about Kanchanjunga, and he came to know that nobody did that. Many people tried, but nobody succeeded. So if you are trying and if you are able to complete it, then you would be the first one. Then excitement, he became more excited. He decided, I will scale this Kanchanjunga. For that, he needed a loader. Through a local broker, he got the hold of Sherpa Huing. He was the loader for him. So Sherpa Huing, to whom I will call Sherpa only, with the Sherpa and this RJ, they started doing the training. 1 month training is being designed by RJ only. RJ learned all these things from his father, who himself was a big mountaineer, world famous mountaineer, who scaled K2 and then wrote the book also. So he knew all the nitty gritty of mountaineering. So for 1 month, he charted out what to do, what not to do. They did rigorous training, right from life saving, right from acclimatizing, right from various problems which they are going to face while climbing. So for 1 month, they did rigorous training, and when the training was finished, they decided to climb. They checked the weather, everything, registration, everything, paperwork they completed, and then they started their ascent, their climb. So they started before going for that climb. They did all logistic, all medicine, all food, everything they pack, and they put some extra thing also, and they started their climb. Ma'am, can you change the slide? So when they were climbing, so they took intentionally that route which has got beautiful scenery, pond, snow-clad mountain, secluded village, that kind of itinerary they decided. Intentionally, they were not following the shortest route, and for that they were already prepared. Sherpa was good enough, was very resourceful in providing the local thing. So he provided him local food and local medicine or local so many things. So they were enjoying their journey. At the same time, they were climbing also. During the route, they became a kind of friend also. Robert Jr. also shared his personal things with him. This Sherpa was also sharing his personal life. Both of them were quite acquainted with each other. Sherpa was a man of few words. He did not talk much, but Robert Jr. talked a lot. Sherpa talked only when there is something to talk, like if there is something related to meditation, prayer, dhyan, then Sherpa took his time, explained it in detail. For those things, Sherpa explained in detail. But other than that, he remained quiet. So various questions of RJ was explained by Sherpa, how to reduce the anger, because this RJ he's a Westerner. He don't know anything about prayer, and he's finding every now and then Sherpa is folding his hand whenever he's seeing the glance of Kanchenjunga or any mountain or any Shivalinga or any lake. So whenever anything like that is coming, Sherpa, folding his hand, closing his eyes, some kind of glow comes in the face of Sherpa. So he was astonished. How come something like that happened? In one of casually he asked one day, Sherpa, how can you have such kind of patience? You have nothing. You are simply a poor guy. You are my loader. I am. I have almost everything in my life. But I have that kind of satisfaction which I see in your face. It is rarely, means I am not even an iota of it. How come it is? Then very beautiful line is said, sir, it is very simple if you are simple. But since you are so complex, it is very complex. For me, it is very simple. It is the way of my life. So that took him, that sentence took him. It took a while for this Robert Jr. to digest that particular sentence. And that's so coming from a loader. And then again, they started their climb. When after climbing for days, they reached at the final point. Final point means just before the summit, 1 kilometer before the summit, they made their final base camp, and they reached that point just before the sunset. They decided that today we'll rest here, and tomorrow we will complete our journey, because it is just 1 kilometer. That will the final take we will take tomorrow morning. Early morning we will wake up, we will complete the journey, come back to this base camp, take our belongings, and then we'll return. So today, today would be our last day as we are staying, and soon after getting down, we will arrange a rest. So they were planning how to do after scaling the Kanchenjunga, being the maiden, conqueror of Kanchenjunga, what they will do. So all the plannings were done in that base camp. Since they reached there just before the sunset, they arranged their tent, they made their dinner. Dinner was also finished. Then RJ said, since we have time, Sherpa, can you explain me something about the meditation and all those things which you were talking about during the traveling? How come the glow comes in your face when you close your eyes? Why sometimes tears comes when you are praying? Just tell me something. Although I was slightly hesitant, I never asked you because of my ego. But now maybe after tomorrow onward, maybe we will not see each other in throughout our life, because tomorrow after climbing the summit, we will come back. I will address the press conference and I'll go back to my country. Maybe we will not meet. So today is the last day. So please tell me something about this. How come you have such a, so much of heavenly glow, or such a big knowledge about meditation or dhyan? Then he said, actually, Sahib, it is because of my father. Well, father? Well, yes. So since we have time, I'll tell you about my father. He was a very extraordinary person. Well, okay. Can you tell me about your father? Well, yes, I'll tell you about my father. Ma'am, can you change the slide? So my father, then Sherpa started explaining him. Sherpa started explaining him. My father name was Huinchang. And there is a beautiful, story about his birth. What happened? My grandmother, when he was not born, my grandmother was approached by a Buddhist seer, a Buddhist monk, that one very highly evolved soul is trying to take birth from a womb, and you are you are selected. One seer told this thing to the grandmother of Sherpa. And Sherpa is telling this to Robert Jr. So the grandmother was approached by a seer or a monk, in which he explained that one highly evolved soul of Huinsang, Buddhist monk, is trying to take birth, and he selected your womb, provided you are ready. But two conditions are attached with it. First condition is, soon after taking birth, you will die. And second condition is, after taking birth, this particular Huinsang will attain enlightenment at the age of 35, and he will also leave his body. Surprisingly, his grandmother agreed. As prophesied by the seer, after the birth of Huinsang, the grandmother died. So RJ, this Sherpa was telling all this thing to RJ. He said, ki, my mother, whose name was Amma Janki, he told me all these things. Then he further explained about his father. Ki since his birth, since he was a highly evolved soul, he took the birth in full consciousness. So since his birth, his inclination toward meditation, dhyan, was of another level. Although he was illiterate, but his practical knowledge about these sastras, these Upanishads, was of another level. That's why many scholars, pandits, used to come to their house for various spiritual discussion. And generally, his mother and this Sherpa attended those sessions. And they were surprised, how come my father has such a vast knowledge about these things, although he is literate. His father also had, further he said, ki my father also had a very peculiar habit of taking all of us to a crematorium ground during his every birthday, to celebrate his birthday in the crematorium grounds, which is on the backside of Pashupatinath temple. If any one of you have visited Pashupatinath, you must be knowing that there is a crematorium on the backside of Pashupatinath. So that was a place where we every birthday of my father used to take all of us there. We do meditation over there by looking on the burning bodies. Pyre. On the pyre, bodies are being burned, and we are doing meditation on every birthday. Many times I thought of asking this question to my father, why he's having this kind of outdoor celebration. We are not interested, but since he was our father, definitely he was having something in his mind, so we never asked him. So on his 35th birthday, just as usual, he took all of us in the crematorium ground. That was the first time he made us sit and started talking. Generally, We never talked. We simply sit in meditation for 1 or 2 hour, whatever time is taking. My father, then after 1 or 2 hour, my father said, okay, let's go home. So that was the usual thing we used to do. But that on 35th birthday, it was a special one, maybe. My father started talking. He addressed to me, Hoeng, you are the eldest. From tomorrow onwards, I will not be around. And your mother will be your father also. Since you are the eldest, you have to take care of your family. From spiritual side, your mother will take care of, will guide you, because she has seen my life. You must not be knowing about me, but your mother knows me very well. So he will teach you. She will be a kind of guru to you also. At the same time, you have to take care about the economic affair. You should be the breadwinner. So take the responsibility of your younger brother as well as your mother also. Now, if anyone of you have any questions, his father asked, please. Otherwise, we will sit for final meditation and then I will leave my body. Sherpa said to RJ, he was explaining that day my father told me this kind of thing, bombarded me with this kind of explanation. I thought what he was saying. Is he gone mad? He's leaving his body, he's going somewhere. What happened to him? We are not some Raja family where somebody can take care of us. How can he think about it? I thought, okay, I did not ask him. At that time, I hold my nerves and I thought my mother will definitely tell him not to do like that. Don't do any childish thing. Even if you have anything in your mind, don't do like that. But to his surprise, his mother did not ask anything like that. And she simply started asking a question. Her mother, Amma Janki, asked his father, Swami, that since you will not be around from tomorrow onwards, who will guide us? Who will guide us for our path to salvation? When Sherpa said, when I heard this question, I thought, what kind of mother is she? She's not asking her to stop this childish thing, and she's on the top of it. She's asking a spiritual question. So it was difficult to digest at that time. So Sherpa, that Huanshang, the father of Sherpa, he replied to the question of Amma Janaki. He said, it was a very apt query, Amma Janaki, which you asked at the very, it was the best time, because maybe tomorrow onwards I will not be around. So he said, ki, you asked me about three things: guidance, path, and salvation. For path and salvation, I think most of the thing I told you during our private discussion. For guidance, I never told you anything. So today I'll tell you only about guidance. He said, for guidance, you have seen in my life, physically nobody was present, but still I was getting guidance continuously. And that's why today I am I'm going to leave my body in full consciousness and full enlightenment. So you are a witness to it. This guidance will be provided to the one who is worthy for it. So you should not worry about guidance. It will be provided. It is always present in plenty. The only thing which you have to work upon is your worthiness, whether you are worthy for it or not. Then my father explained with the example. Then he said, Ki, I know it is slightly confusing, so I'll explain you. Then he explained. He said, there was a saint named Rinjai who used to live on a mountain. So one fine day, what happened? One Tokyo University psychologist professor, he went there in the cave of Rinjai, which is on the top of the mountain, and to ask him about God, Nirvana, Moksha. So after climbing that mountain, that professor reached the Rinjai cave and asked him. Soon after reaching the cave, he was fully in sweated. So he asked Rinjai, just tell me what is God, where is God, what is Moksha, what is Satya, where is Atma, where is Paramatma? Rinjai said, sir, please cool down, cool down. Your questions are so much. You have taken such a pain of coming here, you are fully sweating. Please hold your breath, drink water, I'll make tea. Maybe while drinking tea, all your question will be solved. The professor said, everybody told me you are a mad. Definitely you are a mad person. I am asking you such a philosophical, such a spiritual question. You are telling me drinking tea, my question will be solved. Well, sir, I told you. Now, since you have come here, you are asking question from me. At least give me some time. Give me some time. Well, okay, if you say so. Rinjai made him to sit, offer him water, and then he made tea. He made tea in a kettle and gave him a saucer with a cup. He started pouring tea in the cup. Cup was full. Then again he started putting the tea. From the cup, the tea started getting out. It reached, it filled the saucer. From saucer, he was continuously pouring the tea. The Rinjai was continuously pouring the tea in the cup. The cup was full, saucer was full. Now the tea was getting into the ground. The professor became infuriated. He said, "What you are doing? If you put any more tea, it will go out." Well, that is the only thing which I am telling you. You are already filled with your explanation. You are already filled with your theories. You are already filled with your PhDs. You are already filled with your worries. How can I introduce such a beautiful stranger which you asked, like God, like Paramatma, like Atma? If you are inviting such big people, you should have space for it. But your cup is already filled. Just empty your cup. And if you are able to empty your cup, the thing will automatically become. The professor was very sharp-minded. He got it. Well, yes, I got your idea. What you are trying to say, if I'm having a house and if I'm inviting such big people, and if my house is already filled, where can I make them stay? So for making them stay, I need some space. Well, yes, that is the only thing which I'm telling you. Then he started receding. He started going back. Just before he came back and he said, when I'm empty, do I need to come here again for knowing the truth? Rinjai said, whosoever is whosoever is empty, God will come to him only. You need not to come here. I will come over there. And this I is not me. This I is the one which you are asking. He will come to you. No problem. You just work on your worthiness. You just you make yourself empty. So with this, Sang said, with this example, Amma, Janaki, just work on your emptiness. You are also on the verge of explosion. I know this is your last birth, but you have to work on it. Before your death, definitely you will also attain enlightenment. But you have to work for it. And very few work is required. And the work is required only to make yourself. Still, there are some worries attached with you. Remove those worries, you will also be empty, and then you will also be automatically be filled. Because existence will never keep anything unfulfilled. You create a vacuum, it will be filled. So then he said, "Ki now no more further question. One more question, I think, which is in the mind of Sherpa. He never asked me, but I'll tell him why I always took all of you during my birthday to this crematorium. This is the question, although he has not asked, but it is in his mind. And it was in his mind since the day I'm taking all of you here. So today I'll explain you why on my every birthday I take all of you here. Well, it is a very old Buddha technique. Buddha used to send his sannyasi to the crematorium ground mandatorily for 3 months before initiating them into sannyas. And when Sang said, I was one of the sannyasi of Buddha, and I was also sent before initiating into sannyas. I was also sent to crematorium ground 3 months. 3 months when I saw the body burning, the body of a Raja, the body of a king, the body of a lower category people, all are burning and turning into ashes. At the same time, some kind of detachment arises in me. And by the completion of 3 months, I started feeling as if my own body is being burnt like that. So that's why I used to bring all of you here so that you will also get the taste of this very highly evolved meditation technique, watching other to die. And by watching it again and again and again, you will also feel that the body which you are carrying, it will also die someday. Maybe 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, it doesn't matter, but it will die. And it will turn into ashes. If you are white, if you are black, if you are high class, low class, all will turn into same ashes. So for that lesson, I generally bring you here. Well, now all the questions are finished. Now no more further question. Now we will sit for final meditation and then I will leave my body. The moment I leave my body, Sherpa, you burn it in any of the pyre here. No rituals are required because I am leaving my body in full consciousness. So no, I have no more karmic reactions. So no need for any ritual, just burn it anywhere. Now we will sit for meditation. Then they sit for meditation in the position in which that slide is saying. Sangu, which was the youngest, was just 6 year old. He was in half sleep mode in the lap of his mother. Sherpa was around 11-year-old. He was sitting and doing meditation. So both sit in the same posture as it is shown in the slide. So for after around 1 hour, Sherpa heard the voice of Sangu, his brother, who was wailing, who was crying and saying Baba, 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 Baba. He immediately opened his eyes and saw his brother, touching the body of his father, which was already, because his father already left his body and it was lying. The body was lying, and he was making him to wake up. The small boy, 6 months, 6 year old, saying Baba, Baba. Immediately he opened his eyes and he was surprised to see what has happened. After this, his mother also opened the eyes. Immediately his mother catch hold of Sangu, took him in his lap, put the left hand in the head of Sherpa, and told him, "Ki what your father has said, do it. I'm going home." Without shedding a single tear, without showing any emotion, she went back home. When she went back home, the body of father is lying there, Sherpa was there, and some other body were burning. Sherpa said, when my mother simply went, I thought, what happened? Then I came to know what exactly happened. Then I came to know what I lost. And then I started crying. For another 1 hour, I cried, cried, cried with loud voice. Since nobody was there, so I was not feeling any hindrance. So he cried a lot. And then, as told his father, he took the body in his hand, put it in the fire, and then again he cried. And when he was slightly cooled down, then he thought, how come his mother, who lost his husband, hold the nerves, did not shed a single tear just because of his children? He said, this Sherpa Huing said, that day, from that day onwards, if somebody said to me that women are weaker are weaker, weaker than anyone, then I simply laugh. I have not seen a stronger woman like my mother. And my mother, since that day, she was my mother, she was my father, and she was my guru also. So with this, Sherpa returned back to his present position when he was explaining all this thing to Robert Jr. Sherpa was fully crying with this. And he said to Sherpa, this Robert Jr., RJ, Sahib, I cannot say any further because I'm totally, filled with emotion. RJ did not say anything. Surprisingly, RJ was also crying. They both stood up, slept inside their tent. They slept. Because next day morning is going to be their penultimate day. Next slide, ma'am. So next day morning, they woke up quite early. But still, the yesterday night story was there in the mind, especially in the mind of RJ. After completing their morning ablution, they sit down for their morning breakfast. Nobody was talking anything because they were still a kind of spellbound with the story. Then RJ broke the silence. He said, Sherpa, your father was really amazing. Throughout night, I was not able to sleep properly. Only your father and the journey, everything was in my mind, resonating like anything. Sherpa did not pay any attention. He said, Sir, forget about yesterday night. Think about today because today is a very important day. Today we have to, climb this 1 kilometer task. And this 1 kilometer is not just 1 kilometer. It is uphill, it is straight, and it's going to be very treacherous. We have to be very cautious about gorges, hidden holes, so many things. So if we think about yesterday night story, we would not be able to climb. And it is just about to sunrise. We have to start early, and then we'll come back here again, take our things, and we'll go back. So our main focus is to climb the summit and go back. He said, okay. They did the final packing. keep the tented there only, because after 1 hour they'll definitely come back. After completing the summit, they'll definitely come back. So they started climbing in the same way that is showing the slide. They started climbing, and when they were just half kilometer before the summit, sun has already rises. Sun has already rises. The sun rays turned the Kanchenjunga fully golden, and that was the first time when they both saw Kanchenjunga such a close distance and in a golden color. They both were mesmerized. Sherpa, as usual, folded his hand, started chanting Amma Kanchan, Amma Kanchan. And this RJ, first time he was also totally still, hypnotized by the scenario, by the scenery. He was still, he also somehow closed his eyes, or automatically it closed. And for a certain moment of time, thought stopped. He become unconscious or something. He fell down. He fell down because he became immobile. He fell down. When Sherpa heard this voice, he jumped to save him. He jumped to save him, and he found him totally unconscious. This RJ was unconscious. Sherpa became very worried. He checked his vitals. He found his vitals are okay, but his temperature was dropping very fast. Immediately, he took him on his back to the base camp, from where they just started in the morning. Took him fastly. He took him there, put him inside the tent with the body bags. He put him in 2 body bags, apply lotion, burnt local herb so that the temperature become warm. Then he again check his vitals with the equipment, and he found the temperature is not dropping that much. And then he started waiting for him to come into his consciousness so that they can start the ascent. They can start the climb. He waited. After every 15 minutes, he checked whether he got his consciousness or not. But he was not. He was not coming into consciousness. Hours went by. So by evening, he came to know that now maybe snowstorm or something will come. And if we remain here for this full night, he will die of hypothermia. So RJ is still in the coma, kind of coma. So Sherpa decided to take him back. He put him on his back with one bag on his front with all the vital thing. Rest all things he left there only. And he started descending. Only a person like Sherpa can do this superhuman task. Otherwise, normal people, it is very difficult to descend alone. But keeping a person on his back and then one bag on front, he decided to, because that was the only option left to him. He started descending. But because of so much of sweating, he was fully exhausted. But he did not lower his guard. He keep on walking. He keep on walking. After some time, he was also exhausted. He also fall down. Raj also fall down. Sherpa also fall down. Both are unconscious. Surprisingly, a group of 2 hunters, 2 people, they were hunting. They were hunting there. They stumbled upon their body. They found these 2 people. They immediately checked their vital. They found that they are still alive. They put them on their back. 2 hunters put them on their back. One put Robert Jr., another put Sherpa on his back. And they started descending down fast. When they started descending, in the midway, Sherpa got his consciousness. Then he took some medicine, food, or something. And then the 3 started walking. RJ was still unconscious on the back of one of the hunters. Immediately, Sherpa took all of them in his home, thanked them, offered them food and some chocolate from the bag of this RJ. They become very happy. They went. But RJ was still unconscious. Doctor was called. His vital was checked. No medicines could be given because he was unconscious. Doctor said, although he is okay, but the full checkup can be done only when he'll come into his consciousness. They, after 1.5 day, after around 1.5 day, RJ came into consciousness. The moment he opened his eyes, he started crying. He started crying, abusing Sherpa. Well, Sherpa, you are the one of you are so bad. So many abuses he started. Because of you, I lost the summit. Because of you, today maybe I would be the world conqueror of the Kanchenjunga, but because of you, I came back empty-handed. I don't know in future whether I would go there or not. But you simply break all my dreams. You are so and so. So he was continuously abusing Sherpa. Sherpa was there silently watching him. Then after some time, he bring medicine and milk to him. He was again abusing, and he threw the medicine and milk. Again, Sherpa did not say anything. He wiped the milk and everything. He again left him in his condition. And he knows that by evening, when he will be okay, then he will talk to him. Evening, when he was slightly cooled down, then he came back. He told this Sherpa. The Sherpa told this Robert Jr. Well, sir, who told you that you did not climb the summit? You see he showed the camera. See the photo. See the video. You did it. You have done it. You are आप ऐसे ही मेरे को गाली दे रहे थे. You need not to abuse me. Just see, RJ, who was sick, jumped from his bed. Well, how it is possible? He jumped. He was smiling. He was so happy. Bola, Sherpa, you are the god. You are something, something. Although he was not knowing how this happened, but he said, why you did not tell me when I in the morning? He said, sir, Sahib, you did not allow me to say even a single word. I thought, let you empty first, then I'll tell you the happy story. And then he becomes so happy. And then he took Sherpa in a separate room. He said, Sherpa, tell me one thing. You know that, I know that Sherpa did not climb it. Oh, this RJ did not climb it. But the photo says something else. And not only this, the way the photo is being seen, the way England flag, my scarf, rock embedded with my name, so many things are arranged in such a way that these things I planned as per the instruction of my father, because he did the same thing when he climbed K2. And he told me to do the same thing when I will climb any mountain. So all these things in the same fashion, how can somebody do? First of all, tell me who did this and how he knows that in this fashion, I'm going to do it. So you are doing exact, or whosoever has done it, he did it in the exactly fashion in which I planned it. And I never discussed it with anybody other than my father. And my father is already dead. If my father could have climbed in place of me, I would be satisfied. But nobody knows this plan. How I'll put the national flag of my country on my bag, how I will put the scarf, how I will put my family locket. And there were so many things in my bag. How can only those things are being taken? Which I only planned, and I never discussed it with anybody, neither you. So there are two mysteries. One, who climbed it, and how he did this. How he did this Panache act. Then Sherpa told him, sir, these two mysteries, if I'll tell you now, you would not be able to address the press conference, which is waiting for you. First, you address the press conference, get the limelight, become the conqueror of Kanchenjunga, and then we will discuss it later on. Well, yes, you are right. I will not doubt your this wisdom. And also my health is also not that much okay. Maybe you are right. After knowing the mystery, I will not be able to address. Maybe I don't know what is this mystery all about. Then without knowing the mystery, Sherpa went for the press conference. And press conference was a child's. It's just like it's very easy for a Westerner like RJ. Since his birth, he has known this press conferences, this public gathering. He addressed all these things. So it was a child's play for him. So he started answering all the questions very beautifully. Beautifully. Last question was asked by one of the one reporter asked him how you felt when you reach on top of Amma Kanchan. When he heard this word Amma Kanchan, he was returned back to the present stage. Present. You know, na? From where he started 5 years back, Royal Guest House. Ma'am, can you go to the slide number 3? 1, 2, 3. Ma'am, this one. Third one. Next one, ma'am. Next one. So when that reporter asked him about Amma Kanchan, that word again took him back to this place, because from here he was transported back 5 years back. That was all the dream. That was the flashback. So he came back to this point where the Sherpa was still chanting the Amma Kanchan with the same. And he was surprised that within fraction of minutes, he relived that memory. And then he also remembered that mystery is still unsolved. That time he did not ask. So today, he said ki now is the opportunity to ask him the mystery. He took hold of Sherpa from both his hand, requested him to sit in his bed, and then he told him. Then he asked him, Sherpa, that day two mysteries were unsolved. Can you unravel it now? Sherpa told him that, sir, after the mystery, something will definitely happen to you, and be prepared for it. He told him the mystery, both the mysteries, who did it, and how it was done, exactly in the manner which he planned and which he only knows it. After knowing the mystery, RJ becomes so depressed that he simply requested Sherpa to leave the room. Sherpa left the room. RJ locked himself in. Next day morning is the book release. Everybody was gathered there. The Nepal president was there waiting for RJ to come, but RJ did not turn up. He was searched everywhere. His room was forcefully opened, and it was found all his books were burnt by him, burnt by somebody, and he was not in the room. A manhunt was being announced. He was searched everywhere, in mountains, in whole Kathmandu, Ramkot. This Sherpa also searched him, but he was not found. For 2 years, he was searched everywhere, but not even a single trace of him was found. Some rumors were doing the round that one monk of Robert Jr. kind of person is seen in the foothills of Kanchenjunga, who generally rescue the people who are in problem, especially if somebody is in the middle of an avalanche, some is in a snowstorm, or something is happening to any mountaineer, then he helped. So he was known as a rescue monk. Ma'am, can you go to the slide number 7? Next, ma'am, next, ma'am, next. Yeah. So when he knew the mystery, he became a kind of he left everything and started living in Kanchenjunga foothill. So he was a monk also, as a rescuer also, and he was known in the nearby village, nearby area as a rescuing monk. So rumors were there that he was the same Robert Jr., but nobody confirmed it. Neither he ever confirmed it. One fine day, when he rescued a person named Alex, who was a publisher by profession and mountaineer by just as a hobby. One Alex, who was a publisher, came to Kanchenjunga for mountaineering expedition because he was captured in a avalanche, and this monk saved him. In return, he asked him to publish a book for which he made a draft. This monk, he gave a draft of around 10-12 pages to this Alex, whose life he saved during one of the avalanche. Alex was very happy. Sir, you saved my life. This is a very small thing, and I myself as a publisher, I will definitely do it. Alex went back and published it. In the preface of that book, that Alex wrote that this book belongs to a monk who himself is Robert Jr., who was the who saved my life when I was in the avalanche, and in return he asked me to publish it. Almost each word belongs to him only. I did not do any vetting, neither I put any word in it. So the whole book belongs to him. Ma'am, can you go? Ma'am, can you go to another slide? So this was the book which was published by Alex, but this book belongs to Robert Jr. In the book, he wrote how Sherpa Huang changed his life. He thanked to Sherpa Huang. He said, I never thanked him, but now I'm getting this opportunity to thank him. He also explained about what happened after the mystery. He said, after he told me about the mystery, I was so depressed that I wanted to commit the suicide. So I thought, if I have to commit the suicide, why not to commit it in the Kanchenjunga? Because that was the only place from where everything had started. So when he was searching for the perfect suicide spot, the talkings of Sherpa started resonating in his mind, especially the meditative things. During the expedition, Sherpa offered him a book, Vigyan Bhairav Tantra also, in which 112 meditative techniques were discussed. And during the expedition, they what do you call? They practiced some of the techniques. Sherpa explained him some of the techniques, but that time he said half-heartedly, I did some practices, but it did not work. But now, since I was about to commit a suicide, I was having so much of time. I thought, why not to give it a try last time? And if it works out, it's okay. If it is not working out, anyway, I'm going to die also. Then he started practicing all those techniques which Sherpa explained to him and from that book. Surprisingly, all the techniques started hitting him so fast. He became peaceful, calmful. Sometimes even hours are passed, but he was totally still. Some different level of calmness has come, and then he decided. Then he thought how it has come, because now he has lost all the he removed all the baggage of Robert Jr. Now he is simple and nobody. Now he becomes simple. The first time he came to know about the sentence, it is simple if you are simple. Well, now I came to know about this. He becomes so simple that all the techniques started happening to him very, very, very easily without any effort. And when he got this tranquility, when he got this silence start happening, then he said ki, in the book he said ki, introspection, I started doing introspection. Then I found that it was not only Sherpa who changed my life, but there were many Sherpas in my life. But I thought I was the only one who is the only accomplisher. He said earlier, I thought I was a big gambler, but now I came to know I am just a card in some of the big gamblers of the world. He said कि not only this Sherpa is a Sherpa, there were many Sherpa in my life, like my mother. I cannot visualize my life without my mother, or nobody can visualize. My mother was also a Sherpa. My father was also a Sherpa who sold his life just to buy happiness for me. My brother is also a Sherpa who helped me in my studies and so many other things. Then many of my friends, they are also Sherpa because they helped me psychologically, sometime monetarily, sometime some other way. Then there are many competitors who helped me. They are also a Sherpa. Then there are some so-called enemies to whom I think they are my enemies, but they were the one who bring best out of me. So they are this. He said in the book, in his book, he said they were the human Sherpas. Then he said there were natural Sherpas. He said sun. Because of sun we have earth. Because of earth we have the conducive environment to live. We have this water, air, so many things. We never thanks to them. We take them for granted. We have trees giving us fruit. We never thank them. Even we cut them sometimes. Then he said, okay, this sun is again depending upon other sun. That sun will again depend upon another sun. So it's a big circle in which everything is connected, and everything is not is incomplete without other. Then he said, ki these natural Sherpa, first the human Sherpa, then the natural Sherpa. Then he said, ki when I go more deeper, I found then there is a supernatural Sherpa to whom I call go God, Allah, Vaheguru, Jesus, so whatever name you can, Paramatma, Atma. Well, as a Westerner, throughout my life, I doubt about this God's presence, but I always respect the science. But now I came to know that the building block of science and building block of this Dharma, both are same. Both have the same qualities. They both are invisible, and they only their effect can be seen. Like for science, the building block are neutron, proton, electron, God's particle, Gibbs particle, whatever you can name. You cannot see them. Only their effect can be seen. Then there are forces like magnetic forces, gravitational forces, electronic forces. You cannot see them. Only their effect can be seen. In the same way, God also has the same quality. You cannot see him, but every day you are finding its effect everywhere. Then he said, Ki, now I found a summation of all these things. Both are the two branches of the same seed. So throughout my life, I never thanked them. Today, through this book, I would like to bow down to all these human Sherpa, natural Sherpa, as well as supernatural Sherpa. With this, he ends his book. Thank you so very much. If anybody having any question, please let me know.
Thank you, sir, for this beautiful review. So let's take a selfie first, then we can move on to questions. All right, everyone, let's switch on our cameras. मेघना जी, पूजा जी, संध्या जी. All right, let's smile. Two, three, two, one. All right. We can move on to questions and discussions and wind up in 10 minutes.
Sir, I have no questions.
Beautiful session, Anil sir. Beautiful. Uh, I'm short of words. I was glued to this session. This session itself was meditative for me. Uh, I was fully involved in this session. Amazing, amazing, sir. Thank you so much for this session. Thank you, sir.
Really, I was also engrossed in the storyline and मतलब आप ही लेके जा रहे थे हमें एंड हम कंचनजंगा पहुंच गए थे एंड एक्चुअली आई हैव सीन कंचनजंगा एंड द गोल्डन लाइनिंग so I could imagine that. So it was very nice, beautiful story. Thank you, sir. बट एक क्वेश्चन है, आपने शेरपास को क्यों चुना है? जस्ट मेरा क्यूरियोसिटी, ऐसे तो कोई भी मतलब कलात्मक दृष्टि से आप कुछ भी ले सकते हैं, बट जस्ट एक क्यूरियोसिटी, अगर कुछ स्पेशल रीजन था तो.
Actually, ma'am, this story, all these things come during whenever I am doing meditation. Meditation में शेरपा आ गया तो शेरपा ले लिया. Maybe अगर कोई और आता तो कोई और ले लेते. Just like that.
So for the whole time I was so into the story. ऐसा लग रहा था कि अब क्या होगा, अब क्या होगा. पूरा for the whole 1 hour I was totally engrossed in the story. And thank you so much. It was really healing, very meditative book review, and really enjoyed listening to you. So you can check the chat box as well.
I'm just curious to know the secret also, how he managed all those things.
Ma'am, for that you have to read the book.
Yeah, sure, sure. I am surely I'll do that. So it will
Because
be an honor for us.
ma'am, because there are so many other things also which I have not touched
Yeah,
because of
yeah.
the. So if
Time
you read it,
constraint.
ma'am, it is just 50-page book, and it is
Uh-huh.
available in ebook also. You will like it. I know you will like it. Not only you, everybody will like it. If you give a chance to a nobody like me, you will like it. Huh? If you are not giving chance, that is separate thing. But if you give a chance, I will not disappoint you.
I'll surely read that, sir.
And one more thing, ma'am, I would say, because this world is now going to a very chaotic phase. You know that wars is happening every now and then. So the only way of saving, my guru generally says this, is to create this spiritual vibrations, and that can only be created by these kind of sessions, these meditative sessions. The only reason why I wrote this book, so that if somebody read, his mind will calm down. And if I'm discussing, I intentionally choose to review so that for this half an hour, so many people will, these kind of waves will be created. So this wave created, if it is a calmer wave, it will calm the mind of so many people. There are so, if you provide power to an idiot, then he can do anything. My guru used to say that if you plant tree and throughout your life you invested in making a jungle, okay, you did it. One fine day, one idiot will drop a bomb. Everything is gone. So it's better to do something with that idiot mind. What you can do with that? So that can only be calmer by these kind of waves. If you, I would not name it, Santiji, but the only way of calming these idiots is when we spread these waves, because once a wave is created, it will never be destroyed. Maybe some wave will strike somewhere, it'll calm down. Otherwise, we are going to explode. We already prepared for it. We are a ticking point time bomb. Anytime we can explode. Only one button is required.
So
Very
this is
detailed.
really a very wonderful book, and I'm grateful that I had read it already, and shared my experience with Anilji also, and really very grateful that author himself is describing his book. I had read this book, and I definitely found it very worth reading actually. So I, even though I was aware about the contents of this book, I was listening very carefully. I was just so engaged कि I was not able to यहाँ से उठ के नहीं जा पा रहा था. And only one face was which was live, that was शेर सिंह जी. बीच में शेर सिंह जी ऐसे बैठे हुए थे. एंड आई वॉज थिंकिंग कि वेदर ही इज सिटिंग हिमसेल्फ या फिर बहुत ही शांत ऐसे बैठे हुए थे. फिर अचानक से उनका हाथ ऐसे हुआ तो सोचा अच्छा ही इज लाइव. अदरवाइज आई फाउंड एवरीवन सो एंगेजिंग. वो उठ के जा नहीं पा रहे थे. नॉर्मली रिव्यूज़ में क्या होता है, थोड़ा पानी वानी पी लिया या कुछ कर लिया. सो रियली वेरी गुड राइटिंग अनिल जी. And I don't know whether we should tell you Swami ji or not. And very good pen name you have actually. Very so wonderful writing and wonderful explanation and review of this book by the person himself. Thank you Anil ji. Thank you so much.
Actually, I was not putting any emojis or anything क्योंकि मुझे लग रहा था कि डिस्टर्ब हो जाएगा. बीच में वो जो ध्यान है वो टूट जाएगा. आई थिंक इस पूरे सेशन में इमोजीज और ये सब बहुत कम चल रहे थे. शायद जो मैं सोच रही थी वही सारे लोग सोच रहे थे. मतलब कुछ डिस्टर्ब ना हो जाए, कहीं से वो लिंक ना टूट जाए, ऐसे चुपचाप सुन रहे थे बस. वेरी
मैं
ब्यूटीफुल.
some emojis were coming. I was putting my emojis to just show my presence, क्योंकि कभी कभी emojis नहीं आते हैं ना, तो और सारे कैमराज ऑफ हैं, तो स्पीकर को लगता है कि कोई है कि नहीं है, या फिर मोबाइल ऑन करके कहीं घूम रहे हैं, तो इसलिए थोड़ा बीच में लाइक. अदरवाइज ये तो रियली वेरी टफ था कि कहीं पे हंसने वाला इमोजी डालना है या सैड वाला डालना है, बिकॉज एक फ्लो में जा रहा था पूरा स्टोरी.
All right. So thank you so much, sir. Your review was wonderful and we are very grateful to you. And one small announcement for tomorrow morning, we have the community reading session with Ami ji for chapter 35 and 36 of Focus on What Matters. So set your alarms and we'll see you in the morning. Good night, everyone.